this time we are recording. And I think that this time it should be right. So let's do this. Let me start sharing my screen and we'll go over everything we went over last week and hopefully in even a bit more detail. So let me find that. And if you guys have any questions throughout the presentation, let's do that. Cover some questions. I'm looking for this one. And hopefully this works. So yeah, last week we were trying a new webinar platform, which is still in beta. So that's why I wasn't sure how to get that recording. Let's get through this. We'll get through this really quickly, so you can get on with your day, and then I will actually upload these the slides and the video training into the members area as soon as I can get it edited and stuff. So yeah. I was just looking for the actual chat because I can't, now that I'm sharing my screen, I actually can't see the chat, which is not ideal, but I'm going to be naughty and keep my Facebook open. So I'll see if anything comes through there. If you've got any questions, you can go through there. So let me get this here and that there, go away. No. And all right, so no, we'll get it figured out. Thanks for that, Ben. It's just helping me find the bar thing here. Let's just get on with this. So I know you've got stuff to do, and I'll kind of figure out as I go along. So let's do that. So welcome to the Engagement Funnel Bonus Training, and this is a special training just for those of you who bought on the promo, the Black Friday promo that I had recently. And I just thought that I'd go through the engagement funnel model that that you guys got in the training that you bought. So show you a few different things about it, but most importantly, show you how this is implemented in the wild. Because it's all well and good to study a course and actually, get the information, but there's nothing better than examples coupled with your own implementation. That's where you're going to really do something. So we're going to talk about engagement funnels in the wild, like I said. So I've been through that. Now I'm going to tell you the interesting story of the first ever engagement funnel that when I created the thing initially. I'll show you some of the samples that I've used with different clients, but it's really all about implementation. As I said, putting it into practice, that's where you're really going to get the value from the training. They will go into some FAQ as well. I have some questions already lined up here. If you actually want to send something through now or during the training, then I will answer those as best I can at the time. And if you're watching this as a recording later on, then feel free to hit me up on Facebook or email. I'll keep mine open, but just in case. But let's close our email and Skype. I always have my phone on silent anyway. It's just a habit now. I just keep it in my pocket, and if it vibrates, then I know that someone needs me. Again, type questions into the chat box or send me a PM. I'm going to give you some websites that you can check out. Don't be tempted to go to these now. Just make a note of them. If you're on the call live, then you'll have the recording to refer to pretty soon. Don't just get distracted and watch these websites. Some of them have videos on them, and some of them, you could disappear into them and miss the rest of the training. So let's focus on what we've got to get through here today. The other thing about going and checking out all these funnels in the wild is that either I or the client owns the copyright for these. In most cases, it transfers to the client. So, they would, in most cases, own the rights to them. So the intellectual property. I mean, they're probably not going to catch you if you do the wrong thing. But for me, it's a mindset thing. If you just rip people off and take that kind of attitude towards your business, then you'll never succeed anyway. So they're really there for inspiration more than outright copying. I mean, the thing is, you can copy someone's funnel and you can see what's on the surface level, but there may be, and there almost always are actually, other mechanisms inside that you don't know about, that you would pretty much have to have built that funnel to have the full picture. And without those certain aspects inside the funnel, unless you go through and buy everything, you usually have to buy everything to actually see the whole funnel. So just copying them as they are then rarely works. Again, I'll upload the recording, but take plenty of notes. There's some weird connection between actual writing notes with our hands and, actually the way that information sticks better in your brain. It's something that I try to do at seminars as well. And I remember back in 2006, I was at a seminar in Sydney, and I was late, and pretty much the only seat that I could find was way out the front. And it seemed, I thought it was a VIP section, but I managed to sit down, and I was sitting next to an older guy. And one thing I noticed was that he was scribbling page after page of notes, and a full-size notebook, and he was filling up every page on all the different speakers. And I was amazed at that, because he was well-dressed, he seemed successful, and sitting at the front. And this is when I was much newer to copywriting. I actually had to be told that this guy was Ted Nicholas, who is one of the all-time greats of copywriting, and sold I don't know how many billions of dollars worth of his and his clients' products. So what really stuck with me was the fact that even when he must have been in his 60s back then, he's older now, even he was like taking as many notes as he can, even from speakers who, certainly weren't as big a name as what he is. And I mentioned this briefly before. There's a great book by Robert Ringer. It's one of those books like Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy, where you pretty much just need to read the title of the book, and that's pretty much all you need. It's called Action, Nothing Happens Until Something Moves. And that's really the key to doing everything. Like I said before, you can study the courses, you can even see these examples in the wild, like I'm going to show you now. But until you actually take action, until you actually go through and do stuff like this for yourself, like the way I teach it in my Funnel Influence course, which is kind of a larger version of the engagement funnel. It includes the engagement funnel, but it shows you how to build the funnels. Until you actually do that yourself, until you actually put some of these learnings into action, then your funnel will not be built until then. So that's the key to it, taking action. All right, so here's how everything started with the engagement funnel. I was working at Mindvalley, and I was doing some copy for them, and I met with the CEO, Vishen Lakhiani, and if you haven't come across him, he's a really smart marketer. And what he wanted to do was have someone to actually oversee the creation of these automated funnels, because at the time that we started this whole thing, Mindvalley wasn't making a great deal of money. They were still doing well and still had great products, but cash flow was kind of an issue for a while at different times. And this is basically the funnel we came up with. If you've seen, if you actually seen some of my other presentations, if you've seen Funnel Influence, so the course itself, I told the story of how we took their revenue from a certain amount and tripled that over the course of the year 2016, and it's continued on. It's 2017 as I record this class. So we did different things like Ask Funnels and mini courses, but the core of it all, when you sign up for an Ask Funnel, when you sign up for a mini course, is this funnel here, and this is the engagement funnel, and this is at the center of it all, because it's easy enough to get a lead to an opt-in, but it's another story to convert it, because most people won't purchase on their first time that they come to your website. So, and especially when you're talking about paying for clicks on Google or Facebook. I've done a bit of that myself. I'm not a traffic guy, but I've run some traffic, and it's always amazes me just how much those clicks cost. The key to monetizing those clicks and those signups that you get on your sign up page is in a funnel that converts, and this is what the engagement funnel training is all about, and this is what we're talking about here today. So for this funnel, we're assuming that you're driving traffic to a landing page, and the landing page has a free gift of some kind where they opt in, so they sign up with their name and email address to get onto your list in exchange for that free gift. So that's kind of where we are right now. It certainly works in a lot of different scenarios, but that's the main way that Mindvalley generates their leads, and all the other clients that I'm going to show you here today as well. So as you can see, there's 7 emails there, and you can also see I'm no artist, but I managed to put this together in a way that you can understand. We'll go through this step by step. So day 1, the lead is acquired. As I said, they sign up for a free thing, or they sign up through an Ask quiz. And what happens on day 1 is they see a one-time offer or a special offer. We often refer to these things as one-time offers, even if the offer still exists after the first 3 days, as it almost always does. We call it a OTO, a one-time offer internally, but it really is a special offer. An actual one-time offer does actually disappear if they close that page that they see immediately after they sign up. So it's important to remember that distinction. A typical deadline for this initial special offer is 36 to 48 hours. So give them up to a couple of days to get the first couple of emails. If they don't buy immediately on your site, which most people won't, they may just need a prod. I mean, maybe they were on their phone when they signed up and they don't want to buy on their phone, for example. And some demographics won't. I'm certainly finding out with some clients. Or maybe they just need a day or two to decide on that. But you want to set a strict deadline of 36 to 48 hours. You can do 24 hours as well. You probably just won't be able to send as many emails as you can in 2 days. So this is always the best deal in the funnel. You can either go by price, the way some clients do things is they just want to give the lowest price as the best offer. However, this is the weakest marketing position. And I actually read something from James Schramko, who's a top Aussie marketer. He said that a price discount is a financial apology. And basically it's saying, if your product's worth what you say it's worth, if it does what it's supposed to do, then charge what it's worth, and people will pay it. If you're discounting because you think that it will get you a sale where you didn't have one before, that's what he means by a financial apology. What I prefer to do is add another bonus or another benefit. So you can add in a bonus that is only available on this special offer, or some other kind of benefit, some other kind of feature that you can actually add in there rather than just discounting the price, or do some combination of both. It's probably best to do a combination of both. Lower the price and add the bonus in as well. So here is the section of the engagement funnel that is covered by day one. So hopefully you can see my mouse here. We're coming in this way. You've got email 1 and the delay is 0. So that comes in straight away. And email 2, as you know from the engagement funnel training, is 3 hours later. And email 3 is then 21 hours later. And that gives a time period of 24 hours. And then on email 3, we give them a 12-hour expiry warning. So we send that out after 24 hours. We say, there's 12 hours to go on the timer. And that means our time period is 36 hours. And up the top there, you've got the OTO. Again, I've just referred to this as an OTO, even though it's not actually a one-time offer, it's just a special offer. The long sales page here. So that's the sales page that you drive them to from this first section. And if you remember from the engagement funnel original training, email 2 drives them to the Facebook page. So basically, after a 24-hour period, they have seen this offer like 2 to 3 times, and they've got a strict deadline of 12 hours from email 3 to take that up. When day 2 comes around, or however long you want this offer to last, you can start to send offer reminder emails. Let's see, I've got here. over here. So this day 2 comes. This is basically an offer reminder here as well. So email 3 is an offer reminder. Again, that's your best deal. And be straight up. Don't try to be clever. Just tell people straight up that the time's running out to take advantage of this best offer. You can use that on-page time I mentioned. Now, one of the best programs that I've ever seen for timers is deadlinefunnel.com. And go and check out the site after this training and read about that. You can actually create some pretty cool deadlines with that tool. So we are here. We're at email 3 now after 24 hours. So 24 hours now. We're going into day 2. So that's why that's there. Day 3. After the initial offer expires, the funnel offer segment begins. So this is the second segment of the funnel, and it's still a good deal, but it's not your best. Like you might have a slightly higher price, or you might make that initial bonus unavailable, and you can choose the duration of your offer. And basically, in this model, it's got 4 emails in the example, but that's not a hard and fast rule. Again, use the timer for this section as well. One interesting tip you might use is to introduce a new bonus here. Now, it shouldn't be as good. It still shouldn't be as good as the initial offer. You've got to be honest and let people know that if they buy the first time that they see an offer, then they get the best deal. But this is a good place to introduce something interesting that just to keep it fresh. And after this, your lead will move on to your regular broadcast list. So this is where you send out your daily emails. And the way you set that up varies by business. If you have a larger business, you might have different funnels in between this customer acquisition funnel and your broadcast list. But in general, your lead will, if they go through the rest of this funnel without buying, then they just go onto your daily broadcast list. And so we are here, email number 4 comes on day 3, and as you know from the training, this actually goes to YouTube. And then we have the rest of the emails here. This is all up to you, but they go to this funnel offer sales page rather than the old OTO. So let's do some funnel hacking. And again, I say this with a grain of salt. Go through them for inspiration. The real best way to actually hack someone's funnel is actually to start buying some of their stuff. I've done this myself, where you buy the initial offer, then you get to see the upsells, then you get to see the kind of emails that buyers get that are often different from free leads. There's a lot of different ways to do it. So, again, just take inspiration from it, use it to model for your own funnels, but don't swipe or steal any of this stuff. So when you actually do this funnel hacking, then you actually want to you want to document what you're doing. So this is a couple of screenshots from my Evernote app, and basically I give it a title and within the URLs of the landing pages, a screenshot of the ad. As we go down the page, I've got the URL that this ad goes to. And this is a quiz funnel, so I've got screenshots of the quiz and all of that. So document this in Evernote or on a Word doc or Google Doc, whatever, and then we'll go from there. That's how you actually record what's happening. It's especially important if you actually go through the funnel properly and buy everything and really uncover each page. But again, this is only for your records only. Again, this maxpersuasion.com website, they own the copyright to this. I do not. This is just for my own records, so this is not to be copied at all. The first one I want to show you is the original one, and the omharmonics.com LP mini course. And so you can see a section of the landing page here, and the sign-up form for this website's right here. So let's zoom in on that, and I'll show you how I do this. So you put your name and email address in to sign up to the funnel. And you want to use gmail.com. So I should have gmail.com in here rather than these X's. So use gmail.com because let's say my email is brian@gmail.com, which it's not, but just for simplicity's sake, my email is brian@gmail.com. Then you put this plus sign here, and then you put anything you want after this to track where you have gotten this from, so where you signed up from. So like funnel test is an example. Brian plus funnel test at gmail.com, and Gmail will consider that the same as brian@gmail.com. So it'll still go to brian@gmail.com, but you'll be able to see that you signed up with this email address, so you'll know where you signed up. That's where you track. That's how you track where you signed up from, and keep the name the same as well, just so that you can track all this, and then document this that you signed up to this funnel with this email address, and that's how you keep track of where you signed up to and what email. So this is the original one that I actually created the engagement funnel for, because the problem that we found was that when people were signing up to take a quiz, if you sign up for those superhero quizzes, what kind of Disney character are you, those quizzes, they never put you in a funnel. So it's a bit of a perception that when you take one of these quizzes, you're not expecting their people to send you emails. So we had to get around that and be straight up and set expectations and make sure that we converted those people. This is a screenshot of the landing page. Being a quiz funnel, it's done to the ask formula. Take the quiz button here in a video. So that's one you can go and look at later. Now, one of the newer ones that we did after that was on courses.mindvalley.com, Uncompromised Life mini course. And that's here. The sign-up form seems a bit broken at the moment, but this is a sign-up form here, a screenshot of the landing page, so go and check this out. And we also did a quiz version of that. And we also did a product called Chakra Healing, quiz and mini course. Did a product called Faster Deeper Bliss, and a quiz and a mini course. So we rolled these funnels out after we had some great success with them. So you can check out all those websites after this training. And this is what happened. You've probably seen this before from one of my webinars where in 2016 we started rolling out these funnels and going up and up and up. This is a real screenshot because I probably wouldn't have had this dip in September. I probably would have faked it up here somewhere. But this is an actual screenshot from one of Mindvalley's reports. It just keeps going on up and up and up. So other niches that we've done this in is in the law of attraction niche. So you can go and check out this funnel later on. It's got the headline, the video and quiz button at the bottom of the page there. So you sign up to that, take the quiz, and then you'll get into that. That's an engagement funnel as well. Uh, Another interesting one is actually did for a spiking, an app named Spiking. And this is basically a stock trading app which tells you, what stocks you should buy. And what Spiking actually has is, we don't have a quiz as lead generation, but it actually has a quiz as an onboarding system. So once you download the app, you open it up, you sign in with your email address. What happens then is there's an onboarding system which takes you through a quiz to find out, personalizes the app for you. But the really interesting thing is, of course, when you enter in your email address, then you go into an engagement funnel. Because once you download the free app, they want your email address, and they want to keep reminding you of the in-app purchases that they've got. They also run events and stuff, so they want to do that follow-up marketing. And I've never seen really an app where that actually drives you into a funnel. So that's another unique one. And that's the recent one as well. In the insurance marketing niche, a fairly standard landing page here. If you sign up here, you'll see an engagement funnel, a variation of it. So there's plenty of proof that the engagement funnel works. I mean, I showed you the screenshot of the Mindvalley report before. But I dug up a few of the old stats of some of these funnels. And in here, the blue line is the open rate, and the red line is the click-through rate. So what you'll see is that, as expected, email 1 is here, and that's the highest open rate. And each time that line moves, that's a different email. So it's plotted out. And this is day 1 is, of course, the highest open rate, and I've actually seen this is not the highest one I could find. But what you'll notice is that there's not too much of a drop-off. There is always a drop, and if you see most funnels, email 1's always the highest, but it really goes down after that as people lose interest in the funnel and really bottoms out. But what you can do with the engagement funnel is keep the drop to a minimum. There'll always be one, but it keeps the drop to a minimum, and you even get a spike up in open rates and click-through rates at the end there as the scarcity comes into it. Here's another one which shows the similar way, and another one, open rates and CTRs. Again, it always follows a similar pattern, and most funnels will really dip down somewhere from email 1. They'll go down somewhere near where this red line is, but this one has always maintained its actual levels a lot better. Here is actually a comparison that I did, and the actual labels are around the wrong way. So that's a mistake on my part. But the red line is the actual engagement funnel open rate. So ignore what's over here, because the old journey, which is a basic sort of funnel, that's way down, and even email 1 is 40%. With engagement funnel, we're getting email 1 opened at nearly 60%, and this bump here in this particular test is for the OTO reminder, which is email 3, and then it goes on like that. So that's a direct comparison, a direct split test that we ran with the engagement funnel versus the old journey, and this is the result. Yeah, you've seen that before. It just keeps going up as we implemented this funnel. So you can take a screenshot of this, or there should be one in your members area where you can see the whole funnel. So this is basically the whole thing. So offer reminder, engagement reminder, offer expiry. This is the first section, the initial offer section. And from email 4, it's the funnel offer section, which is the second best deal. So we've got some Q&A to do, and yeah, I will. I've got some questions here that have been sent in, so we'll go over these quickly, and we'll finish up, and I'll get this uploaded. So, a question says, how does the OTO and funnel offer in the diagram work? So if we go back to the actual graph here, so OTO is here, so the funnel and the funnel offer is here. These are two different sales pages. So OTO, or special offer, is one sales page here, or one price point, and this is a different price point, a different offer. These are two different offers. That's the best way to put it. And the OTO section goes up to email 3, so this section will drive to this offer, and if they don't buy in that initial offer, then they get a slightly worse offer here from email 4. So that's how that works. There's two sections. In a lot of clients, the OTO is simply the lowest price, and the funnel offer is a slightly higher price. So you get the lower price as a reward for buying immediately. But the best way to do this, again, is to put the really good bonus in here, so that people know that they have to buy the initial offer straight away to actually get the good bonus. Because chances are, by the time they get to the funnel offer section, in every funnel there's drop-offs, so we want to get them as soon as possible. So that's pretty much how it works. Imagine a line straight down here. So that's how it works. There's two sections, and one on the left is the initial offer, or the OTO, and the one on the right is the funnel offer section. So I've got another question. What if I don't want to email someone twice in one day or send daily emails? I want to cover two things on here, because there's really two questions here. The first is talking about emailing someone twice in one day. So basically, with the engagement funnel there, we're actually emailing pretty much 3 times in a 24-hour period. So this one they get when they first sign up, and it might have login details if you can do that. And then we say to email 3 hours later with a casual email just to check up, and then you need an offer reminder. So you can skip an email like this. We do get response from this email. We do get engagement. We do get comments building up on the Facebook page, for example. So this is meant to be just a very quick, casual email, a quick checkup that you got. That you've got some whatever download that they requested in email 1. That's the way they do this. So there's a good reason for this. It's not meant to be salesy. Like, we don't drive people to the sales page here. We just want to connect with them, get them on Facebook, and have it like a casual email. We don't need to drive them to the sales page yet, because we're about to send them a reminder for this. So let's see. Now, you can space these out differently. You can make them every day instead of a few hours apart. You've got to test what works for you and your list and your market, because I've tested this in different markets and it works, but I make no guarantees that it will work for you in your market. So you've got to see it. You can try this and see if it works, and if it doesn't work, then you can play around with the spacing. The other aspect of the question is should I email every day? Like here, for example, you've got daily emails. And the answer is yes in this section, because you want to sort of be there reminding them of the funnel offer if they don't buy the initial one. And in this customer acquisition funnel, you want to actually follow the formula Can change it around a bit if you want. You run the risk of it being less effective, but if you don't want to email every day, then you can try that out. It may not be as effective, but here I think you want to get this done in 7 days. I've worked on there's a story at Mindvalley where we had a funnel like this, and then if they didn't buy after this, we actually put them into a webinar funnel selling the same product. And we found that if we took away that webinar funnel, it only took away like 10 to 20% of revenue, but we got pretty much the same amount of money in 7 days instead of 14 or more. So we concluded that if they didn't buy from this first 7 days, they probably weren't going to buy either from the next 7 days either. So we might as well get them onto our broadcast list and start showing the launches and so forth. Here you want to get this done reasonably quickly and get them into a warm traffic stage, get them engaged, and get them onto your broadcast list. When they get onto your broadcast list, that's another story. Like if you're a Mindvalley, you've got plenty of content to send out every day, you can do that. If you're a smaller business, you may not have as much content, you may not have as much things to say. There is always things to say. You can email daily, but you need a reason to do it. And having a product to sell is not a reason to send an email in your prospect's eyes. So, you got to figure out how often you want to email. Another question, does this work better for warm traffic or cold traffic? That's a good question because, as you know, warm traffic is people who know you, have probably signed up to something before. They know you from social media or any of those things. Whereas cold traffic is someone that doesn't know you. You need to have them click on an ad or something or find you in Google, and they are looking for a solution, but they don't know you or your company. And the truth is that this was designed for cold traffic, because we have in here, as you know, from the engagement funnel model, we have some copy about what they should expect and about the values that the company stands for. So it's really all about that education, and it's really designed to get cold traffic in and convert it and acquire a customer. For warm traffic, for people on your mailing list, they don't need to be sent to a funnel like this. They need to be. You need to be promoting your launches. You need to be promoting offers. You need to be connecting with them. You need to be engaging with them. Not using funnels like this, in a more personal sort of daily mailing schedule. I always say a daily mailing list, but your frequency may not be that often. But I just refer to it as that. So definitely for cold traffic, this funnel. Let's see. We've also got... How did the choose your own price thing go? That's an interesting question. It's not really have anything to do with the engagement funnel in action, because there's obviously no funnel there. And if you bought the choose your own pricing, then the only emails you will have received up to this point will have been to promote this bonus training. So obviously there's no funnel in place. But it's an interesting question. I'm happy to share some results since we're pretty much done here. Excuse me. So what happened was, you may remember that I just posted on Facebook a few times. Didn't post any ads. Didn't pay for any traffic. I just posted on Facebook a couple of times for my friends, and saying that I had a choose your own price special going on. So I had the engagement funnel as an existing product, but I wanted to set the price at a minimum of $1, and a person could go to the cart and set their own price, whatever they felt something like that was worth, and they could get it that way. So what I had was a bunch of people bought in at $1, which is cool, and I also had a bunch of people who paid quite a bit more than I ever expected, and a lot of people in the middle as well. So I had a bunch of sales, and it was really interesting to as an experiment to see how people reacted, because there's so many different price points that I had. I had a bunch of transactions. The average purchase price was actually in the double figures, so it was well into the double figures as well. So even though the minimum was $1, a lot of people put a lot more than that. So it really worked. The real reason this came about is because the cart that I was using suddenly announced that we've got an option where you can actually allow the customers to set their own price. And I thought that's really fascinating, because I can say something is worth a certain amount, but I'm always wanting to be more customer centric and allow them to actually call the shots a lot more. So I want. I'd love to be able to make a test trying this out. So I jumped on that, and it seemed to work pretty well. And this bonus training is the result. So what I'm using, the cart that I'm using, is called Thrive Cart, and it's got some really advanced features. And if you Google Thrive Cart, I think it's probably a .com. They're still in beta, so still rolling these features out, and they're actually not open to the public. But they do have some lifetime accounts. And when I found out that this cart actually had a lifetime account, I grabbed it straight away. And I think I heard about this from some of the top marketers online who are actually using Thrivecart with a lifetime account, because most good carts, like Sam Carts, is like starts at about $100 a month, which if you're making decent money online is no problem, but and well worth it. But lifetime accounts is another thing entirely. So Thrivecart does have a lifetime account which you can grab, and I said the link is too long for me to say here. So just go to bit.ly, bit.ly, and you can bit.ly.com, bit.ly/Thrivecart lifetime. That's bit.ly/THRIVECART lifetime. So Thrivecart lifetime. Go to that bit.ly link. PM me if you need me to send you the link, or reply to my emails. And because I do reply to emails, I can get that link for you. And that's the lifetime account that you can get with Thrivecart. It's really interesting. So that's pretty much it. So thank you for joining me on this bonus training. It's really been a lot of fun, and go back through it now with the recording, and go and visit some of those websites, sign up for those funnels, get some inspiration for your own funnels, and then take some action and get building them. If you have my Funnel Influence course, that will really help you build up these funnels. So that's based on all this work that I've done, that I've shown you throughout this training. So thanks again, and any questions, PM or email.